Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Untitled Rack's Destination 4x rack carrier here on our 2015 Toyota RAV4. So this is going to be a great way of getting a lot of bikes to wherever your destination might be taking you. What's awesome about it, yes, it is a little plastic fantastic. It's got a little bit too much going on. It's not the prettiest bike rack out there, but I will say it does an excellent job of securing your bikes and making sure that they get there safe and sound, which is great. So we are having a frame hold on our bikes here today though. So what that's going to mean for us, it is going to eliminate the option of carrying our carbon frame bikes, as that can end up warping and deteriorating those carbon frame bikes, which we definitely don't want. But what I really like about it is how versatile this system is. So we have this little center hold here. It can rotate 360 degrees, meaning whether we have a vertical, horizontal, or diagonal frame, we're going to have no issue going ahead and clamping onto it. What that's great for, if you do have any women's bikes, step-through bikes, or kids' bikes that sometimes have that just kind of pesky not wanting to fit right on those hanging style racks, we can just go ahead, set them in place, no matter what that frame is, whether it's high or low. We're going to go ahead and secure it to our bike rack carrier and have it nice and secure, which is great. I do like these outside cradles too. Nothing too crazy going on, which is nice. We just have that 18C standard groove widening out for some of our bigger tires. But we also just have this strap right here. That makes it really easy to go ahead, run through, start securing both ends of our bikes, which is nice because we'll have one on this side and the other side. And you can go ahead and transpose these as well if you need for your smaller wheelbases. Now, I haven't run into many times where we need to do that, but maybe if you have a kid's bike or a little BMX bike, that could be something to kind of watch out for and why you shorten that down. So again, that versatility really coming through, which is great. And one thing I like too, we have a really nice rise here in our inner assembly, making sure that yes, even though we have four bike racks or four bikes on our carrier, we're staying well enough out of the way. That way we have the necessary clearance to not have any issues, which is great for ourselves. So unfortunately for us though, we don't have a way of tilting this away from our vehicle and opening our hatch while it's in place here. You will actually have to end up taking off these probably two front bikes to actually get access to your hatch if you want to. So I'm about to show you guys that in a second. But if you are looking for something that gives you a 4x rack carrier and can tilt away, you could look at the Kurt Premium 4x rack carrier, the tilting style, sorry, not the premium, the tilting style. And what that tray style allows you to do is, like I said, to tilt away from your vehicle. But that's about it. I really don't think the Kurt has too much else going on for it other than the fact it tilts away. I think the Destination still just does a better job of actually getting your bikes to and fro, in my personal opinion. But again, that's something you're looking out for. Can be a pivot. But to take our bike off really isn't going to take too much time. I'm simply going to press here on our lever. That's going to allow me to release that strip. I'm going to show you guys here on the other side. Closer look at that. Just like so. We do have this nice little rubber grommet at the top too to go ahead and protect our wheel rim from our plastic strap, which is nice. But that does bring us to our last hold on our bike. To get it off, all I want to do, simply hook an arm around your frame. And I like to push on that lever with my offhand. That allows me to go ahead and take this out all the way. We're releasing my bike. Let's make sure we're doing a good job of holding on to it. And then we can simply lift it up and walk it away. Now I will say be careful there, especially with our 35-pound per bike rating that we have. Our bikes could get a little heavier. Let's making sure we're seizing up that core. That way we're not pulling with just our back. And it can be helpful too to approach this carrier from the side. Makes it a little easier to get those heavy bikes off if you guys are having trouble. But at this point, I want to go ahead and see if we actually need to lower our mast. I think we are going to have to. Let me go ahead and see from open up our hatch here today. Yep, that's going to make contact right there. I'll go ahead and close that guy. Get him out of the way for ourselves. Of course I messed it up, but that's all right. I'm just going to go ahead and drop down this mast really quick, guys. To do that, I'm just going to open up my lever here. I have a little knob system. Pop that like so. And I can go ahead and open that guy. That's going to go ahead and allow me to open up our door all the way to get access to our coolers, bike helmets, anything else we might need. Can be nice for quick little stops too, if you're just hitting the gas station or something like that. If you don't want to go ahead and take this whole big old carrier off every time, just drop down that center mass. You can go ahead and open up your hatch, which is great. But now we can go ahead and close that up now. All you need to do is wait for that guy to close. So that's really, really awesome. I love that we have that. Let's go ahead and start taking a look at some of the dimensions we're working with here on the back of our Toyota. So like we said earlier, we're going to have really nice clearance, but it's definitely something we want to check again. To do so, all I'm going to do is simply go from the ground here to the very end of my carrier. That's going to put me at 17.5 inches there to our wing. So that actually is pretty decent. We already kind of have a lower sitting hitch here. Just keep in mind, as those front wheels go up, your back will go down, and so will your your hitch mounted accessories. And with us being so far, again, just be a little careful. You guys do have a very steep incline you're approaching. I just take it slow and make sure we're not getting too crazy with it. That way we don't have any interaction. Well, let's go ahead and see exactly what we're working with from the back of our vehicle to the end of our carrier. That's going to be putting us at just at 40 1/4 inches right to the very end of our reflector, and we do have a way of shortening that up. One thing I will suggest too, when you have your mast here, if you don't want it billowing around or falling out and getting in your way, one thing you can do as well is to go ahead and open up maybe this guy or this guy, whichever one you guys really want to, and go ahead and actually get this set in here. Now for me, I'm just going to go ahead, open up this strip right here. That makes it really easy to run that guy through. Secure it down, and that way our mast isn't popping around, which is great. But that's going to bring us to our inner assembly here. We have a little clip. You need to pull that, and then just back off this knob. That allows me to release it. I can walk it right up. Now we're not going to go all the way per se. We're simply going to go to right about here, and that's going to allow us to secure ourselves. And then, of course, let's make sure we are replacing that pin. And I think that little bolt that fell off was actually my middle mast there. So let's go ahead, make sure we're not backing it off too much. And yeah, it looks like I did back that off just a little bit too much. So be a little careful there as you guys are backing that off. Just something to kind of watch. But now I've gone ahead and pulled that up. We can go ahead and see exactly what we're working with here for our length. Now we're looking at, from the sides here, about 15 inches from the back of our vehicle. Definitely shorten that down. For a 4x rack carrier, that's not too bad. And I love to see that even when we are folded up here, we're getting good view from our rear view window. We're not impacting our tail lights too much, maybe our reverse lights a little bit. That would definitely be something to watch. And our backup camera here is offset on the RAV4. However, again, a lot of interaction here, a lot of straps kind of in your way. But with any kind of 4x rack carrier, that's something you're going to run into, even with that offset. Maybe the Quad Envy might be kind of set enough to where you can see through it, but that's going to be a big price jump for a lot of us. So probably going to be dealing with that issue on almost any carrier out there. But we can go ahead and move our way down to the inside though here and start taking a look at our shank. We do have a 2-inch shank here today, held by our 2-inch hitch receiver, of course, and we do have a threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt on the inside. Now those guys are pretty standard across the industry, but you love to see them. All you need to do, give it a nice old shake, just like so. As you guys can see, I'm shaking the entirety of the vehicle. That means we're all in line with one system, taking all that shake and play out, making for a nice, smooth ride for us, our bike rack, and of course, our bikes. On the end too, you are seeing a little locking cord to go ahead and secure this to your vehicle when you leave it unattended. So that's really nice to see. Now with that though, there is no cable lock that comes with this guy, so that could be also a nice way of going ahead and protecting your bikes, is to give yourself a little bit of security. That way nobody can walk up and just take them off your rack while you're not looking. Overall, I think the Hollywood Destination is just a very nice little bike rack. Great way of getting 4 bikes to that destination with no trouble. And I really like the versatility of it. So it's great if you guys are, having a different kind of rotating friends list that wants to come out every weekend. Maybe the family's growing, whatever reason you guys might have. Really, really nice that we have that versatility to start accounting for all those different bikes. Like I said, the only thing I'd probably look at for an upgrade for this guy is that tilt away. And that's basically all the Kurt's giving you. Other than that though, there's really nothing too special about that rack in my opinion, other than the fact that it can actually tilt away from your vehicle. But that's just kind of our pros and cons that we kind of have to situate for ourselves, right? So I think that about does it for our look here today at the Hollywood Rack's Destination 4x rack carrier on our 2015 Toyota RAV4. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.